in again to the Mr. and Mrs. Show, and we got a treat for we have a treat for you today, and we are grateful that you're here, and hope you had a good week, right?
I hope they did.
Well, so Valentine's was good to you. Huh?
Now I guess.
Oh Lord, she said she guessed. But y'all know she's right. She ain't gonna express everything, but if past Valentine's days were any indication, she you know how that goes. You have to set a certain expectation. But anyhow, we thank you for again tuning in today. We got an interesting segment because we have about 30 minutes, and I have some things that people have asked.
Oh my.
Ah,
Oh my.
this is a good part. This is a good part. So, without further ado, the Mr. and the Mrs. is going to get into what people have asked. All right. I have a small list.
I hope so.
No, it could be big. I like big stuff. Okay. The first thing somebody asked me was, asked us, Mr. and Mrs., is there a married couple's curfew? Is there a married couple curfew?
I mean, what do they mean if you're out?
Yeah, is there a specific time that you should be home if you're married?
Okay, so if you're not together.
If you're not together, yeah, then is there a married couple curfew?
Well, I think there should be, I wouldn't say a curfew, but I think that there should be a respectable time that you're home. If you're married, yes. If you're not, and if you're not able to be home at a certain time, then you should at least call, and it's not about power or struggle or whatever, but you should call and let your mate know, hey, I'm tied up, I can't get home, but I want to let you know I'm okay and I'm on my way, or I'll be home by a certain time. So it's just respect. It's respect. It's not that somebody trying to keep up with your every move, but there should be some respect.
I don't think that's what the person was trying to indicate, that somebody was trying to keep up with their every move.
Yeah, but a curfew, I mean, I wouldn't think, you, because you're adults, I wouldn't say you have a curfew.
But that's what I'm saying, a curfew, it is what it is. A curfew is a cutoff time. So you're going to tell a grown person they got a cutoff time?
Well, I think, again, respect. And that you are a married woman or a married man, then love, is in that movie said, should have brought you home at a certain time.
What movie that? I ain't seen that. Anyhow, let me tell you.
Boomerang.
Boom. Oh, yeah, let me tell you something. This is the same woman whom, when I met her, I said to her, listen, you know that I play basketball every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 to 7. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, you did. Yes, you did. I know. I got on video. Anyhow, I got the video. And of course, you know now that was fine for about 6 months. What time you come home? But I told you before we got married that I played basketball. But what time you come home? What time you come home? So that little we call it the honeymoon period, where everything was fine because you're happily, but after a period of time, what time you coming home? And so that's a curfew.
There's not a curfew.
Well, it's a curfew.
It's not.
You know what I said? It's a curfew.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Call it whatever he wants to call it.
That's like a curfew to me, because you got to now she didn't say come home this time, but listen, what time are you coming home? Men, you know what that means. In the back of your mind, no matter where you at, when the lady asks you or your wife, you say, what time you coming home? In the back of your mind, you know that you're gonna have to cut it short pretty
No,
soon.
it's not that. Sometimes you are preparing something. You may be cooked a meal, or you're in the middle of cooking a meal. And so
Okay.
you may want to know what time he's coming so the food can be hot. But that doesn't mean you're there's a curfew
Curse for you.
or cursed few. It just means that you're preparing something, and you may not want to sit down and eat alone, or you may not want the food to be cold when he walks in the door.
Okay, but see, the food should have been cooked between 6 and 7, because I told you I'll be home after 7.
Well, then no. Women work. When they get home, if they leave work, most of them at 5 o'clock, you don't want to be late cooking, and you don't want to be late eating.
I don't mind cooking. I didn't mind cooking.
Yeah, at that time, I don't remember you cooking very many meals.
I didn't have to. 'Cause we ate out a lot.
Okay, right.
So you
In
say
the early years, we had no money to eat out. It must have been eating at McDonald's.
here long they had Piggly Wiggly, I was eating. Talk all you want to.
Must have
Piggly
been
Wiggly.
eating at McDonald's.
Long they had Piggly Wiggly, we had food. But anyway, is there a married person's curfew? So you saying there is one? Is that the answer?
No, I'm not saying there is one. I'm saying there is respect, and there should be some boundaries. If you're gonna be late, unusually late, then I think you should at least pick up the phone and let your spouse know that you're gonna be late. Because in this day and time, there's so many things going on. If they're not used to you being late, then first thing, they're gonna panic and they're gonna wonder if you're okay.
Okay. I understand that. Everybody, I think most people know that after a certain time, you pick the phone up and you call someone and say, listen, I'm here. You text. Well, nowadays people texting, that this is going on. I'm going to be here. I'll be home about this time, or they call and say that. But I think we all get that part. And I think what the question that the person was trying to ask, when a man or a woman who is married look at their clock and they say to themselves, I should have been such and such a place, such and such a time. When that clock goes off in their head, do they continue to stay where they're at, or do they realize I must be making my way home?
I think when they realize that, then they should be making their way home.
Let me get comfortable right here. Let me move the pillow. They should be making their, men, you should be making your way home.
Or women.
Or women. Okay. So you think it's a solid answer?
I do, yeah.
You think you answered the question?
Yes, because when I was single, I didn't have to look at the clock.
Oh, so
But
you're
now
married, you
that
gotta
you're
look at the
married,
clock.
Yes, I should be respectful to my mate.
Okay, all right. So you can be home by 7 now?
I'm always home by 7.
No, wait.
Yes, I am.
So but anyway, 7 o'clock, I can write it, I can put it in stone somewhere.
If you can,
Okay.
unless church opens and I'm at church.
Whoo, that's another whole thing right there by itself. See, yeah, curfew for church folk, me that one anyway. I think the question was adequately answered. I think as men, we understand that, especially if you're an empty nester. Because now let's be truthful. I mean, about this too. If you have children and one is away, and you said there's no curfew, so okay. You don't put a time frame, but times go faster with children in the house, and then before you long, he or she is not here yet. But I think you're more comfortable if you have children in the house. But if you're there by yourself, I think that's when the curfew time began to be pounding a little bit in your head. You're thinking, well, I'm here now by myself, and where's my spouse? We should have been home an hour ago. We don't say it probably to them, but we say it to ourselves.
That's true.
We say it to ourselves.
That's true.
We're not talking about, I don't think the person was talking about if you had a spouse that worked second shift or third shift. They're not talking about something like that. They're just talking, you know, is there a curfew? And that's what they ask. Is there a curfew? You ready for the next one? Ooh, I don't think we have enough time for this here. Are you ready for the next one?
Yep.
This was a tough one. Are conversation with exes okay? Oh, why do you look like that? Are conversations with exes okay?
Why don't you start out with?
I got to start over there. Okay, I'll start. I'll say yes.
Because?
There ain't no because.
I want to because.
Why you want to because?
Because I want to know why you.
Well, I mean, it's just conversation, right? Right? And just conversation.
That's what the question.
Everybody
can't handle just a conversation.
So if I was sitting somewhere and sitting on a bench somewhere talking to a young lady who's my ex, you would have no problem with it?
No, because I mean you've talked to your exes before, and you've had some little outings that was a group of high school classmates, and then one of the exes was in it. But no, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Because for one, that's what she is, or they're exes.
That's the definitive theme. They are exes. But now.
I mean, if you're a person and you know you can't handle it, then you don't need to be in that situation.
There's like a A there too. You know, the A. Should the conversation have been made known to the spouse before or after? That I had should okay.
I mean, if you just run into the person, it's not, you can't let them know before. I mean, when you come,
somebody may call and say, "Listen, I was in town. I hadn't seen you in 30 years. Can I talk to you?" Should that person disclose that to you?
Yes, I think you should.
Why?
Because what if they say, well, I'm gonna be such and such a place, and you just come by and we'll sit and have a talk or whatever. So what if I was to roll up on that same exact place?
Now that sounds kind of hood. That sounds kind of hood to me. Now see, she talking about that. That's why you don't tell me. She already talking about rolling up on somebody.
Yes, that is why you do tell them.
Oh Lord.
Because then you come up on the person, your spouse, sitting there with that person. They have not told you.
See, look
and
at that
then
face.
you come up on there and you don't know what's going on.
I know it'll be going on, but she gonna roll up on you.
Okay, then you gonna walk up on it to see what's going on. Whereas if you had told your spouse, then there wouldn't have been a problem, or it wouldn't have been an issue, or if there was a problem or issue, they could have told you up front before it happened.
So you said we should tell you, so when you roll up on us. Roll up, y'all get that man, they're gonna roll up on you and it's gonna be on. Well, you the one that said roll up, I'm just trying to, that's a hood answer. But anyway, so if I meet.
Tell me then there won't be no hood.
Oh Lord, okay. So is it okay, a conversation, now what if a conversation is on the phone? We're around the house. You're walking through the house, or I'm around the house, I'm walking through the phone, and I'm on the phone, and I'm gonna give you a scenario like this. And I'm on the phone like this. Girl, you just crazy. Yeah. I remember, yeah, girl. We had fun that time, didn't we? What's gonna happen then?
No, now you already know me. I'm coming to stand.
See? Why you don't stand there?
I'm say, who you talking to?
What? Okay, so I'm not gonna say my ex.
You may not say your ex, but I'm gonna keep standing there and I'm gonna say who you talking to.
It's just ain't nobody. Then what?
then I'm gonna continue to listen to the conversation even if I walk away.
Huh, really?
Mhm.
So what if I walk on you or you in the house and you talking on the phone? And show me how you be doing. Show me how you do it.
I don't even know.
Show me how you be doing. And you talking to ex. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how you doing? It's been a long time. What's up? You been doing that? How you and the family?
Hey,
Family
hold on. You finished cooking?
I didn't cook
You
today.
didn't cook today?
No.
But you got time to contact somebody.
Yeah.
We got, tell them about it right now. Tell them about it.
Look, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Now who you talking to?
I was talking to a longtime friend.
And who's that?
Just the friend, just the ex.
Ex what?
The ex-boyfriend.
Okay, the first thing on it, how you get your new, after 40 years, how you get your new number?
My number hasn't changed.
In 40 years. First of all, we had no cell phone 40 years ago.
Maybe 40 years ago, no, but we have one now.
Okay, he just reached out to you.
I get, yeah.
And you just happened to know he won't call.
I didn't know he was gonna call. My
But
phone just rang and I picked it up.
And you picked it up and you recognize his voice after all these years.
No, there was a hello,
Uh-huh.
and then there was a.
But why you grin like a chest cat? Why you grin like a chest cat? Whatever chest the cat is, I have no idea.
This is really funny. This is funny. This is so funny. I mean, you talked about 40, a friend, a boyfriend over 36 years ago.
Yeah. But why you grin like a chest cat? When I walk in, you grin like a chest cat.
Been with you 36 years.
Okay.
So, but
you ain't.
You still got a little thing about an ex.
That's why they asked the question: is a conversation with exes okay? That was the person's question. So
you can't really say that because it's different with everybody.
No, yeah, it is different with everybody.
It's different.
So I guess it's, you have to handle, and I also I think this. It has to do with who the ex was, because we all probably had exes and boyfriends and ex-girlfriends who really, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and there was nothing ever going to be, how you say the word, what we're trying to say, there was nothing ever going to become of it. Yeah, become of it. We just were growing up, and we had a liking for somebody, and you say to yourself, now you tell the truth, say, look down, you mean I really wasn't interested? Maybe you don't. I'm just saying. You tell you, well, you mean I really was interested in him? Must be like that. Watch it. That phrase again. It must have been an attack of lunacy. But anyway. It doesn't matter who it is. Now, I'm gonna take this a little step further than the person who asked the question. Let's go a little step further. What if you know it's an ex that still pushes your button?
Then I would say you need to stay away from that ex.
Huh?
You stay away from that ex?
I'm talking to you.
I say you need to stay away from the ex.
Okay.
The conversations in a telephone call. Because if that person pushes a button, then you don't need to talk to that person.
Okay, what they text you?
Just ignore it.
But how many gonna ignore the text?
I don't know, maybe not many, but I mean everybody, you, I know me. If I feel like it's something I can't handle, then I'm gonna ignore it.
So if Janet Jackson texts me, I'm gonna ignore it?
No, cause hey.
I'm gonna ignore Janet Jackson text. I'm just asking that.
Okay, I don't know. If Michael B. Jordan texts me, am I supposed to ignore his text?
Oh, you the one in Morewood?
No.
Yeah, I ain't with that. I know him. We grew up in Morewood together. Okay. He ain't gonna know.
Okay.
But okay. So we do things like that. It doesn't matter who the ex is, and we know if it was somebody who pushed our button. We should at least. Well, let me. How do you feel about if you wanted to see someone whom you haven't seen and you ask them, well, can I bring my spouse along? Is that one of the things that you can do? And we're trying to answer her question too. Do you take your, do you ask your, I'm putting this in, do you take your spouse with you? Just for the sake of meeting someone you hadn't seen in a long time, just to ensure that nothing,
That would be a good idea. That would be a good thing to do.
I'm pretty sure the spouse would want to go.
That would be an excellent idea.
Just to, show me how it would go.
Well, I don't know how it would go. I mean, I would just say, look, hey, a friend is in town, haven't seen him in a long time. You know, he's wanting to get together, but I suggested that you come with me. So what do you think about it?
That's good. That was an excellent suggestion. Where do we go? And my foot, we going to start this here. When do we go?
You're a strange one anyway.
So we going to see him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cause I got some questions.
You shouldn't have any questions.
Why are he reaching out? Anyway, I'm just talking about that thing. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. But I think we've answered her question. So, is it a conversation with exes okay? With regards to texting, with regards to phone calls, with regards to meeting them. It doesn't matter who the ex is. It does matter where the meeting takes place. I think we didn't even cover that. Can you meet? I'm at the Four Seasons and they got a nice place to eat. Can you meet me at the Four Seasons? Yeah, why you look like that?
I mean, well, you just gotta have some common sense and some wisdom. I mean, you can't just take right off and just meet somebody anywhere. I'm over here at this hotel, can you meet me over here? No, you gotta be a wise person, man or woman, and you have to be considerate of your spouse's feelings. You gotta think about the fact that if someone saw you there and they didn't know what was going on and it gets back to your spouse and then you have to talk to your spouse about it, how is that gonna make your spouse feel? So you gotta consider all those things before you get into a situation that could cause you a whole lot of grief when it really meant nothing.
And I think we kind of didn't have this conversation, but you and I were talking about something that happened. Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, 1 year ago. You and I, it was Valentine's. Yeah, it was. It was Valentine's night day. And we had went somewhere and spent the night with the purpose of Valentine's, eat breakfast in the morning. And it was still kind of, we came out that morning, it was cold. And you had a thing on your head and you were nice and wrapped up. And I asked you, I said, now we come out of this hotel, and I said, somebody gonna see us and call you. I said, Sandra, I saw your husband coming out. You remember that?
Yeah.
You talked about that. And he was with a woman, but he won't shoot. I didn't recognize the woman. And you talking about, well, what she look like? And see, that's how rumors get started, right there. When you go somewhere you ain't supposed to be. And and we talked about that. It was a while ago. I think that we covered that. Okay, we got a few minutes. Watch this. Let's look at what the person asked. Can you still be friends with the opposite sex after you're married?
Well, I mean, friends, sure. I mean, yes, because first of all, you should already let that person know I am married, that there is nowhere you can go, but this is just a simple friendship.
Okay. Now, but understand what friendship entails. What do friends do?
Well, they talk. They sometimes might go out to eat. They might conversate about different things, what have you. It just depends on how far you take that friendship.
Okay. Well, we all understand this now. We got a few minutes now. I think emotionally, correct me wrong, I ain't never been a woman. Emotionally, I don't think women can handle that like that. Emotionally, I understand. But men we're different. I'm going to say men we're different. if we are friends, now you can say what you want to, I'm gonna let you all know, I don't care who you are, you're a man. If you're friends with the opposite sex for any length of time, then there's a man in you. I will tell the truth, there's a man in you. You have to gauge how long that is. And you cannot continue to, friendship, like you said, but friendship entangles. So you cannot continue to do certain things in friendship and say it's friendship, because after a while, it ain't gonna be friendship. That's from a male perspective. Men, now do I have to say it? Do I have to say it?
I guess you would.
Men are hunters. There you go. Men are hunters. Now, what something else you want to say?
No, I just, maybe I see it then, maybe it's acquaintances.
Yeah, because you seen it
I
from your point of view.
I call them friends, I mean,
Who?
men that I call friends,
What's the name? What's the name?
anyway. And
No, what's
we
that?
don't go out to eat, we don't call each other, nothing like that, but when we see each other, we speak to each other, how you doing, how's your family, this, that, the other. I call that a friendship. Maybe it's not a friendship, but that's what I call it, because, you know, when we see each other, we're glad to see each other, we're asking about each other's family, friends, what you been doing, what you been up to, that kind of thing, and we go on, we may not see each other again for 6 or 8 months or whatever, but we can pick up right where we left off at, and there's never been any, come on, go to here with me, come on, go there with me, let me call you, or nothing. We just are friends, we see each other when we see each other, and we carry on about family and friends, and that's that.
Okay, so you saying it's okay, right? No, here.
I mean, everybody, I know me and you know you. You know if you can handle that or not.
And well, I got friends, you know, I have certain female friends, long time female friends, over 30 years. And one of them called and say, I need to talk to you, can we go to such and such? And somebody would call you and say, Cam, I saw your husband with so-and-so. What you gonna say? Hang the phone up on him. Because you already know who it is.
Right,
It don't bother you. It's like, we've been friends for so long. And that's not, I mean, that's, I guess that you can say, okay, and you see it, and you're doing this, and you're doing that. But I think it all depends on how much trust factor you have with your mate, if they're a friend. Now, if you see somebody and that person is going somewhere with them all the time, that's a red flag. Something should be said, something should be done. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. Now, what's this? How much, last question, how much about your marital issues should you share with family and friends? Woo, that's bombshell. How much of your marital issues should you share with your family and friends? Good or bad, don't make no difference. If you're going through a rough patch, should you share that with friends and family? Should I go first?
I would say no, you shouldn't share it, because I remember a very long time ago, a woman that was very wise. She's very wise. She told me, this was my mother. She said, you don't go around telling people about what's going on in your house. She said, especially bad things.
There you go, mother.
When you don't agree, because after you and your husband or your wife has resolved it and you're going back together and you're happy and things are fine, those people are still going to remember it, and when they see you and him, they're going to have a problem with that spouse.
There you go.
She said you should never do that.
Never do that. I agree with that.
So I really try not to share. I mean, I do share good things sometimes, because I want other women to know that, you know, there are good men
She talking about me.
Your good
She
me.
talking about me, the mister.
So I do share good things.
She talking about me.
But I remember what my mother said, and
Yes.
I don't tell family and friends about things that's going on in my house that we need to resolve, or that I think, because sometimes it may not even be an issue, but because over the years I have become really spoiled, something that might be an issue that I think it is may not even be one. So I don't tell. I don't tell.
And you shouldn't. I think what goes on in the house should stay in the house. Right? Except for one thing. What's that?
I don't know what it is.
You never should be quiet about any kind of domestic abuse.
Oh, I
That
ain't
should
quiet
always
about
be
that.
shared. I know, I'm just saying, I'm answering the one, the person in
Lump
question.
on his head.
Ain't nobody gonna have no lump on their head now. Ain't nobody gonna be, don't make me call Mr. Bird on you. But anyhow, nobody should go through that, so that should be shared. Never hold that in. But I think the caller was asking about some things that pertain to, if I have this going on in my marriage, can I share this? And please, see, men don't share stuff, no way. So we ain't gonna be telling we ain't telling no another man about what's going on in our house. We ain't sharing no finance information, we ain't sharing nothing about nothing, cause we ain't talking to you about what's going on, we ain't gonna do that. Now here's the thing now, and definitely now we're gonna, since this is married couples class, and for the next couple of minutes before we get out of here, we definitely ain't sharing nothing about anything intimate, about our women, our wives. That ain't gonna happen. But and for the second time, we came. I don't understand now. You're a woman, but you need to help me with this. I don't understand why women share intimate details about what their husband do. I don't get that right now.
I have no idea. I don't know why they do that. You telling your girlfriend.
Yeah,
The next thing you know, your girlfriend.
It's calling your husband, texting him.
They're trying to find out if you tell the truth.
Yeah, that's crazy. Men don't do that. You don't say nothing about what our wives do and what we do into that's just crazy. So we stay away from that. But yeah, anything detailed, you keep it in the home. You work out amongst yourselves, except for domestic violence. You take that, but everything else you are bound together, and like you stay together. Because once you let the cat out of the bag, you can't get that cat back in the bag.
No.
And people ain't gonna never forget what you said and what you've done, and they're always gonna look at your spouse differently, and they ain't gonna never let that go. But we keep that in. Well, we come to the end of this segment for this week. I'm the Mr. and this is
The Mrs.
And we thank you for tuning in. And I was more calm this week. I was a little bit more calm. But Mr. Bird may be back next week. He may be back depending on what we're talking about. Tune in next Friday night at 9 o'clock for the Mr. and Mrs. show. And we're going to be talking about things that pertain to marriage and this life as we go through life together and celebrate our marriage, celebrate togetherness, oneness as our Lord Jesus would have us to be, and we're going to be.
We're gonna have some fun.
Now, watch this. Every man knows what that is. It's game time.